A lawn sign outside the Lenox Community Center reads, "Lenox turns 100 kickoff celebration."
I came to Lenox about a week after I retired, and I just wanted to meet other people who were available during the day to do things. And I ended up going to exercise program about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, this is not for me. I retired so I could sleep in. So I ended up finding a Tai Chi class that was a little later in the morning. And I remember the people were doing it so fluidly, and with Tai Chi, it's very simple movements, and they all just did it. And I'm looking like, how do you remember? And pretty soon, I was one of those doing that. And that was a revelation, because I never did much dancing or anything. But Tai Chi is a big movement from one movement on to the next to the next. And everybody in the room doing the exact same thing. So it was really fun to learn that and to start doing that.
Lenox Community Center Centennial Celebration. Black and white archival photos of the building's exterior, courtesy of the St. Louis Park Historical Society, appear alongside present-day color images, highlighting how the center has changed and expanded over time. Inside the gymnasium, poster boards line the walls displaying historic photos and newspaper articles celebrating the community center's history.
Hi, welcome to Lenox. I'm Ann Casey. I am a 17-year resident of St. Louis Park, parent of 2 St. Louis Park school students, and I am serving in my 8th year on the St. Louis Park School Board, and as part of that role, I'm the liaison to the Lenox Senior Advisory Committee. So as part of that, I'm here today helping Lenox celebrate 100 years. Lenox, opened in 1925, has had 2 phases of its life. The first phase was Lenox Elementary Schools. So we've got a bunch of memorabilia here from the first 50 years of Lenox. We've got some amazing school pictures starting from the 1950s and going all the way up until the school closed in the early 70s. I want to give a big shout out to the Historical Society, because all of this stuff came from them. And if you went to Lenox, or if you went to any other elementary school in St. Louis Park and you want to remember who your 2nd grade teacher was, or what that friend's name was, they have all of this. They have yearbooks and memorabilia from all of the elementary schools. So huge shout out to them for letting us go through their stuff. And they do have a lot of this stuff, and they would love for people to come in and look through it and use it. After the first 50 years of Lenox, they became the Senior Center and the Community Center. So the senior program started in the early 70s. The parents of those baby boomers are starting to retire into the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and then that's when we had a huge peak in the senior program. So I love just looking at these, because a lot of the programs we actually have, this says 70s and 80s, are really the same. So it looks like they've got an exercise class going on here. There's the dancing going on right here, dancing here, a field trip, it looks like, to the conservatory at the Como Zoo, I think. So that's just really fun to see the things that are the same. And then there's something like this that is totally different, right? Like spaghetti dinner, $2.50 for children under 12. That's very cute. This is some artifacts from the 1990s and 2000s, like adult fitness. This looks like an adult basketball league. This is when we started teaching people how to use computers, which is super cool. So it says beginning Macintosh. These are those old Macintosh computers from the 90s. And you will see that throughout the boards here, that is teaching seniors how to use technology started to become really important in the 90s and just became more and more important, and is still part of our programming today. This is just a really a fun and sort of poignant one. This is Senator Paul Wellstone and his wife Sheila, with Ron Latz and a couple of other folks from the school district. Based on the date of this photo, it says it's September of 2002, which I think is only about a month before Senator and Mrs. Wellstone were killed in a plane crash in October of that year. So that is that's a really poignant, nice artifact. This board really celebrates a lot of the humanities and kind of lifelong learning pieces that the Lenox program has always had and continues to have. So some lectures, a cooking class, art, travel, and a lot of those things still happen here at the Lenox Senior Program today. The driving safety still happens. There's a senior flu shot clinic, which is, again, still part of our programming. Oh, there's woodcrafters. They're presenting some of their toys for children at the Children's Hospital. But the wood shop is still certainly super active, and they often will display their crafts up here and sell them at some of our craft sales. So here's another one of the computers. These old Macintosh computers are just like cracking me up. We've got a lot of photo albums out too that have like amazing artifacts from the entire time that the senior program has been in existence. There were renovations to the school in 2000, so there's the great groundbreaking photo from 2000. There's new windows, the dining area was all redone, and so that really kind of made it into the building that we know and what it looks like today. Volunteers are really at the heart of our school district and especially our senior program. This is an amazing statistic. This is from 2005 to 2006. 197 volunteers gave 19,424 hours. That is just like, that's amazing. And just in 3 years, almost 60,000 hours. The senior program is run by volunteers who are serving on the advisory council, and the Lenox Foundation, also run by volunteers, is kind of the fundraising arm of the senior program. All of that is still very much part of how Lenox and the Senior Center continue to serve the community.
I am with the Lenox Advisory Council. 15 to 20 years probably I've been coming here and doing different things. What keeps me coming back is probably the thing that brought me here in the first place. Keeping busy and meeting new people. And then also being part of a group, a council, that is making suggestions to the employees and advising them of different findings, different things that we hear from participants in the program. And so we help shape the future.
The Lenox Foundation its purpose is to support the St. Louis Park Senior Program. They always support usually a Veterans Day party, and then there's some social activities. They do a lot here. The Lenox Foundation really helps fund all that, including one that's going on right now, the 100-year anniversary for the Lenox Center. So we're the Lenox Foundation is a sponsor for that. Throughout the year, if the senior program needs something, it could be as simple as blocks, maybe exercising blocks. So they can submit a grant request to the Lenox Foundation, and then the Lenox Foundation can pay for that. We started something kind of exciting this year, scholarships to assist with programs and with enrollments for seniors that it might be a little tight for them to be able to do some of these programs. So we have a scholarship available now for that.
So now we're really moving into what Lenox is like right now. We have the Senior Resource Event, which is an amazing event that's held in the summer every year, where all kinds of service providers can come and share with seniors what kinds of resources that they can get from them. So all kinds of things from the fire department and the police department to like private service providers and housing. So make sure to check out that event. It comes in June of every year. Ballroom dancing is one of the things you'll see in a lot of these pictures. It's been super popular at Lenox for decades. It happens on Thursdays, and it's going to happen this week, actually. One of the other super popular events is the Party in the Park. So we used to call it the birthday party, but now it's kind of just a party for anybody. There's always cake and entertainment, and next month in November, it'll be a celebration in honor of our veterans for Veterans Day. This is a whole bunch more pictures from birthday parties and parties at Lenox and dancing. I'm trying to see if I can find any of my neighbors in these pictures. Fitness is a huge part of the senior program, but also we have fitness classes for adults who aren't seniors. So Zumba classes, interval circuits. Pickleball has been super popular. We now have a pickleball court here in the gym and people absolutely love it. And then of course our Drums Alive and Tai Chi. Some other really favorite current programs are bingo, which always has awesome prizes. The cards folks, I see these folks come in all the time and they're playing cribbage or pinochle. And there's a book club, there's a men's group. Here's the wood shop again. We saw that in one of the previous decades, but still super active. We've had a long-standing partnership with like the SLP police and fire for like safety and things like that. Now a lot of that is focused on helping seniors prevent fraud or being victims of fraud. A new program is the ukulele class. That's been very popular.
As we age, we keep thinking of a senior center is going to be doing old-fashioned things but the classes that are offered here are very young. They keep our thinking young. They keep us in the loop, what's going on with society and with the neighborhood.
Lenox has also been home to lots of other types of programming. We actually have students who come to Lenox every day for school. We have a 9-12 program and Transition Plus, which is students ages 18 to 22 who are receiving services from the school district. So they have all kinds of activities that they do, bowling, visiting the city near the art museum, and all kinds of things. So you will often see young people hanging out here during the school day, which is just really fun to see the seniors and the young people here at Lenox interact with each other. This is a blast from the past. This was the preschool building as well as the senior center at the same time. It isn't anymore, but we have some fun pictures, I think, from the around 2010 was when these pictures are from. And then it's been the home to a bunch of other organizations throughout the years, and this is a way that we can kind of host organizations that meet our mission of providing community services, and it's super awesome for these organizations to be able to really be housed here along with our seniors and the students that are coming in and out, because it just gives them an audience for their stuff. So just a few of them. Kids Places, like I said, we used to have preschool at this building. Friends of the Arts, they're still here. The Historical Society is not here any longer, but I did say they have been super helpful in putting this whole thing together today. Maggie's Farm Theater is still here. Rise Serving Adults with Disabilities. So all kinds of amazing things have been happening at Lenox for the past 100 years.
So if you go to the St. Louis Park Community Education website, then there's the senior program there that shows all the different classes. So that's a good place to start. And then there's something in there called the Newscaster. The Newscaster is the magazine that's put out twice a year that really tells all about what's going on here at the senior program.
I hope that more and more people, as they retire, as they grow older and maybe find themselves suddenly single, that they find the Lenox Community Center a place where they can go and spend their time with valuable friends, valuable activities, and enjoying life. There is so much to do, and it's nice to come to a place where you can do that.
James Sheehy plays guitar as guests enjoy the celebration. People gather at tables, flip through community photo books, and catch up with friends and neighbors.
Hello, everyone. Oh, come on, you guys. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. You have to say it back, you guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Heidi Mohammed, and I proudly serve as your mayor. I've done it for the past 2 years, so if things have been going well for the past 2 years, it's me. If it has not, it's still Jake's fault, okay? We're still within that window. But welcome, welcome, welcome. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to welcome all of you guys to our 100th year here at Lenox. We celebrate that momentum. It is so awesome to see St. Louis Park places reach 100 years. Just last year, we were celebrating at Bethel for their 100 years. Now we're celebrating here at Lenox. So it's really been amazing to see and be in community celebrating these huge, huge moments. Lenox started out as a schoolhouse. I don't know if you guys know that, a 4-room schoolhouse. Worked its way to serving 1,000 students, almost 1,000 students, and then closed down in 1974, I want to say. Only 5? Okay, see, we have some historians in the room. And then opened back up though at 1979, I want to say, as a community space, and they have been serving the community ever since. And so I want to give a big shout out for the people who have put this together. I want to give a shout out to the committee who were including the, I believe school district folks were in there. I believe the city was in there, the St. Louis Park Historical Society. I want to give a big shout out to the foundation as well as the American Legion 282 for their sponsorship and for putting this event together. It is always great to be here with you all in celebration of this. I will say that Lenox is something that is a place that brings communities together. I will say the first time I ever got involved in indie community stuff was here at Lenox. Thank you. I remember hosting our iftar dinners here, community conversations, policing conversations, and so it was always good to be coming here, especially for those who live in Ward 3. I don't know if you live in Ward 3, this is the spot right here, right? So I want to say thank you all for coming and for being a part of this. As the Lenox continues to their next journey, to the next century, I want to wish them the best of luck, and more than that, I hope they continue the amazing work of doing, of serving their community, of providing classes and events for our senior citizens and for all residents here in St. Louis Park. I hope that they continue in their journey of expanding and getting better facilities, which I know that is something that is constantly in conversations here in the community. But that's a little bit about me. I'm going to pass it on to Board Chair Colin. Colin, come on up and say hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Mayor Mohammed. Thank you all for being here today. I brought written remarks because I have a few details, and I want to make sure that I get them correct. First of all, I am Colin Cox. I am school board chair here in St. Louis Park, and it is a privilege to be standing here today in celebration of the 100 years of Lenox Community Center, a landmark in our city and far more than a building, as we can see. I'm about half its age, and so around when I was born, this building was just getting its start with its own life. This building and Central Community Center, both of which are owned and operated by the St. Louis Park School District, something to keep in mind when you see your tax statements and when you hear about various referenda that this is, the school district might be involved with this, have a very important role as hubs for learning and connection for our entire community. Today, the focus is on Lenox. It's a small-looking building, but mighty in its role. I'd like to speak to its relationship with the St. Louis Park Community Education and with the District's 9, 12, and Transition Plus programs. Lenox is home to our Community Education's Adult Enrichment and Senior Program, a core function of lifelong learning in St. Louis Park. Although most see education as K-12, Lenox extends learning well beyond those formal years. It supports individuals long after their school days, empowering them in personal enrichment, social connection, and continued growth. Each session, adult programs offers more than 150 classes, spanning arts, wellness, technology, language, cooking, woodworking, and more. This facility pulses with activity Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., reflecting a commitment to access and opportunity. The staff's guiding principles are encouragement, inclusivity, and creating a welcoming environment for all, helping to break down barriers, encourage curiosity, and cultivate community. Lenox also operates our senior program under partnership with the City of St. Louis Park and the school district. Its mission is to improve and enhance the lives of adults ages 50 and better, so I'm in that group of the 50 and better, through social, recreational, physical, and educational opportunities. The senior program does more than keep people active, it keeps minds active, connections strong, and people engaged in community life. And I have had the pleasure of serving on the senior advisory committee as a school board member and met great people like Bernie back there. And I've learned a lot about our seniors and this community they have built and their passion for service. Lenox also hosts 2 critical student service programs, our district's 9 through 12 program and Transition Plus, which is operated in cooperation with Hopkins School District. And a little bit about those programs. The 9-12 program is complements our Transition Plus program. It's a similar kind of thing with offering high school age students tailored support for those who may need more individual programming. Transition Plus serves young adults ages 18 to 22 who have IEPs and unmet transition goals. It helps them move from the adolescence towards adult independence, focusing on 5 key domains: employment and job training, recreation and leisure, community participation, independent living, and post-secondary planning. Transition Plus is much more than academic. Students gain hands-on community experiences, vocational skills, social and life skills, and real exposure to workplaces and civic life. With Transition Plus at Lenox, we weave together school with community. The building that supports lifelong learning also supports transitions into adulthood. I felt it was really important to focus on these again with our connection to our school district and how much this building plays an important role in those learning experiences. Okay, so with all that history behind, and we have plenty of other history to check out around here, I was also asked to make some of the functional announcements. So I encourage you to check out all of the poster boards that are here. Join us on a tour of the building at 5:30 or 6:30. Grab a bite to eat back there with Bernie. Socialize with the other attendees. I also encourage you to enjoy programming throughout the week. Tomorrow night, does anybody know what tomorrow night is?
Tuesday.
Bingo! Well, it's Tuesday and it's bingo night. Or bingo at 1 p.m. On Wednesday, there's a social hour at 10 a.m. in the lounge. On Thursday, there's ballroom dance, and that's at 1 p.m. in the gym. And there's open art on Friday at 9 a.m. in the art room. Building tours will follow all of the events through this week. We also want to support our wonderful St. Louis Park businesses, including tonight. We're hosting a drawing for a $50 gift card to a local restaurant in the park. Gift card options include the Legion, Mexico City Cafe, Honey and Rye, Parkway Pizza, and Walk in the Park. So please make sure you enter your name into the drawing tonight. Right over here, the drawing's over to my right, to your left here, most of you, as well as each day you attend the designated programming. And don't forget that the senior program is hosting their final event at Lenox for the year, the 4th annual craft fair on Saturday, November 8th in this gym. Come out and shop local. Thank you again for attending today. Thanks for supporting, and thank you for being here to celebrate this moment. Thank you.
Lenox Community Center is part of St. Louis Park Public Schools. The St. Louis Park Senior Program is a partnership between St. Louis Park Public Schools Community Education and the City of St. Louis Park. Thank you to everyone who has been part of Lenox Community Center's first 100 years. We are grateful for your dedication, passion, and support. The video ends with special thanks to the planning committee, volunteers, partners, and sponsors.